Russian folk art is as old as the people themselves. It is an integral part of Russian culture. It maintains deeply rooted artistic traditions and reflects originality of cultures of multinational Russian Federation. Today, folk crafts in Russia survive in two basic forms: handicrafts practiced on a broad scale as special branches of industry, and a part of amateur art created by gifted persons working at home. The main characteristic of Russian folk art are the imaginative use of the available raw materials and rich decoration. Articles fashioned from marble, glass, ceramics, wood, metal, or ornamental textiles have really become part of everyday life, adding a touch of beauty and harmony to daily existence. You will see the most popular handicrafts in present-day Russia: wood carving and painting, such as Khokhloma, Gorodets роспись, painted multi-piece matryoshka; handicraft lacquers, including palekh, holui, fedoskina, and mstera miniature paintings; handmade laces and embroidery, such as Vologda and Ivanovo laces, mstera and kadom embroidery; dolls in traditional costumes, made by Moscow artist Tatyana Sokolova; handicraft bone carving, handicraft stone carving, porcelain and faience, ceramics, handmade ornamental and carpet weaving, handicraft metalwork and decorative painting on metal, handmade textiles. Worldwide famous Khokhloma painting was born amidst peasantry household life in the forest villages of the bank of the Volga River. The original technique of golden painted articles, mastered by the age-old practice, is still retained up to the present. Classic combinations of gold, cinnabar, and black were basic, and later the folk masters tactfully added brown, yellow, and green. The craftsmen use a brushstroke method without implementation of stencils or preliminary pencil drawings. The painted multi-piece matryoshka has become the symbol of Russian national art. The first matryoshkas appeared in Russia in the late 19th century. They consisted of 7 dolls, each depicting a girl wearing a sleeveless cotton dress, white apron, and a multicolored shawl, and holding a black rooster in her hands. Today, there are a variety of matryoshkas: a girl in a colorful shawl with a bouquet of flowers, or in a fur jacket and a shawl with tassels; characters from fairy tales, historical or literary characters. Most often, matryoshkas consist of 6, 8, or 12 dolls nested inside each other. However, sometimes matryoshka consist of 20 and more. The largest can be a half-meter tall, the smallest shorter than 1 centimeter. Matryoshkas are either painted or pokered. The colors include all shades of red, blue, yellow, and green. The traditional design often features small and large flowers, simple geometric figures, raspberries, and cherries. The dolls may have a small basket with berries in their hands. For example, the famous Semyonovskaya matryoshka always has a small bunch of flowers in her hands. Matryoshkas continue to be the most popular Russian souvenir. The Gorodets painting on wood was another famous folk craft. The craftsmen decorated peasants' spinning wheels, birch bark baskets, boxes for woolen yarn and threads, and kids' stools. Gorodets painted compositions always represented floral garlands or picturesque bouquets of extraordinary flowers. But the main character of Gorodets painting was and still remains the fire horse, whose neck is unusually and boldly curved and excessively stretched out. The painted wooden articles were used long ago as headrests or head supports, kitchen utensils, bread dishes, small shelves, and kitchen cutting boards. The following articles are very popular today: bowls, vases, wine vessels, kitchenware sets, carved scoops, dippers, dishes, children's toys, and decorated eggs. They are notable for their beautiful floral ornament and joyful colors of sunny paints. Besides its aesthetic value, any painted wooden article carries information about the spiritual and material culture of a period. A good master draws on tradition, but never copies the existing model. The master uses his imagination to develop the model, adding his own emotions and details. Many other articles in the area of decoration of wood in folk handicrafts are in demand and have great success at domestic and international museums and exhibitions. During its 2-century-long history, lacquer painting has become a unique form of art. The craft of old icon painting is connected with the art of an everyday object, creating a unique kind of decorative art, polished lacquer miniatures. Contemporary lacquer articles are decorated with unique miniature painting on subjects such as Russian fairy tales and folklore ballads, poems and national customs, and classic Russian literature characters. Everyday events are transformed into epic images which possess a feeling of eternal presence. Everything is depicted with a poetic beauty. Magical mountains, palaces, trees, rivers, fields, horses, people, all are depicted with symbolism. The symbols reflect the people's views of what is necessary for survival. The strength of the people's creation is expressed in an epic portrayal of the world in miniatures. Polished adornments and domestic utensils, brooches, powder cases, jewelry boxes, and chests are executed by hand without any preliminary copies. They are always unique, one-of-a-kind items. Holui, Fedoskino, and Mstera are other famous kinds of lacquer miniature paintings. The fairy tales of folklore and the history of the Russian people come to life on the lacquer surfaces, bringing harmony and beauty to the world. Laces and embroidery were always the heart and soul of the Russian woman. Moreover, from ancient times, laces and embroidery were a vital necessity, satisfying a thirst for beauty, too. Handmade laces were known in Russia since the 17th century. Among the most famous are Vologda and Ivanovo laces, dresses, tablecloths and runners, table napkins, collars, and pelerines made by skillful hands of lace makers are true pieces of real folk art. High professional skills and great mastership of lace makers are generally recognized and rewarded with high awards. Art of handmade embroidery was known to Mstera folk masters from the 17th century and was not only reserved by them, but even developed. One of the most beautiful and attractive kinds of embroidery is the white silk stitch embroidery, which usually decorates fine cotton fabrics with exquisite small traceries of floral ornaments. Mstera embroideresses skillfully reproduce the most complicated ornaments, including shapes of the human bodies and architectural forms. Silk stitch embroidery is considered to be one of the most difficult techniques. Mstera embroideresses seem to be the only masters whose skills and knowledge of this technique are perfect. Handicraft embroidery is among the most ancient genres of folk art in Russia. For example, Kadom embroidery came into being during the era of Peter the Great. On the Tsar's orders, boyars and other nobles were obliged to wear upper clothing according to the European fashion style of that time, with rich lace decorations. Laces were imported by Russia from Brussels and Venice, and the Russians paid in gold, and the prices were very high. In order to prevent over-expenditures from the state treasury, the Tsar issued prohibitory law concerning the purchases of imported goods. Another edict obliged the Russian nuns to be taught the art of lace making. Russian masters started to manufacture excellent Venetian laces first, then transmuted them into unique needle embroidery technique. They called it Venice, as part of the word Venetian from Venezia. Handicraft laces and embroidery are very popular in Russia. They are distinguished by their remarkable beauty and great elegance. Many kinds of laces and embroidery are demonstrated at international and Russian exhibitions and have been rewarded with medals and diplomas. The national historical traditions of Russia were revived in the specialized production of collectible dolls dressed in national costumes. Handicraft articles, notable for diversity and uncommonness, organically combine folk traditions of national costumes, golden stitch embroidery and lace making with different trends of decorative and applied art. These beautiful dolls dressed in folk costumes of Russian provinces from the 19th to early 20th century are made by the Russian artist Tatyana Sokolova. One gets the irresistible urge to pick them up and examine every little fold, every little bead, admiring the masterly work and feeling of warmth with which the dolls have been made. Upon graduating from the Moscow Theater and Art School as a designer, Sokolova worked for several years in the theaters of Moscow and in Moscow famous fashion houses. Sokolova's dolls are unique in many ways. Her creations are based on genuine costumes kept in the collections of historical museums and on materials brought from ethnographic expeditions. But Sokolova neither copies nor just restores old models. Preserving all the important elements and details, this artist dresses the dolls in such a way that they look comfortable in their outfits. Sokolova makes the dolls' heads from papier-mâché according to a special recipe of the last century. When shaping and painting their faces, the artist makes them look like well-known Russian supermodels. The whole doll, from its elegant headgear to the shoes, is made very thoroughly and precisely. Tatyana Sokolova uses natural fabrics and antique materials carefully kept in grandmother's trunks, as well as embroidery and lace to get closer to the essence of the authentic models. Historic social characters, merchant women, gentlewomen, boyarinya, and village girls are all alive in her works. Today, one can see the dolls at folk festivals all over the world, as well as in museums in different countries. Tatyana says that it is very hard for her to part with her creations, because every time she gives away her doll, she feels like she is giving her daughter away in marriage. The art of bone carving is widely famous not only in Russia, but also around the world. It is one of the most ancient types of folk art. Traditions of specific open-work bone carvings came into existence in the north of Russia during the 12th and 13th centuries. Handicraftsmen produce unique pieces of art, such as vases, goblets, chests, lamps, candle holders, desk sets, and jewelry. At present, many artists are specializing in carving figurines and sculptures. They mainly use traditional subjects and themes in their creative work. Bone-carved figurines represent common life scenes of the native population of Siberia and populations of the north. Expressive figurines of fishermen, reindeer farmers, or the taiga indigenous people are also represented. Color engraving usually decorates pen and pencil holders, desk sets, paper knives, ladies' accessories, and key pendants. Unique engravings narrate about the historical events of the past, severe tundra life, and contemporary changes in the lives of the Siberian people. Stone carving includes the manufacture of souvenir animalistic sculpture, decorative vases, candle holders, and ashtrays. These articles are usually made of soft stone. Folk craft artists skillfully use subjects of the favorite folk tales, whose characters are reproduced in stone. Virtuosity of the artistic craftsmanship and beauty, as well as expressiveness of natural stones, provide folk masters with an ample opportunity to create unique pieces of art. Russia is known for its beautiful porcelain. One of the most famous types of porcelain is gzhel. Gzhel is origin around Moscow, which has sold raw clay since the 15th century and is the birthplace of gzhel china. Blue and white gzhel dinner sets, tea and coffee sets, dessert sets, lamps of different design and size, floor vases and fireplaces impart much to the beauty and comfort of any interior. Among other kinds of famous Russian porcelain and faience are Kuznetsov porcelain, Donskoy faience, Kislovodsky farfore, Ural farfore, Gardner porcelain, and Lomonosov porcelain. Contemporary craftsmen' great skills, talent, vivid fantasy, and virtuosity breathed a new life into an age-old Russian tradition. Even in the old times of Kievan Russia or ancient Russia, small towns were famous for earthware made out of local light-baked clays. Dragons, lions, bears, and folk and fairy tale birds are among the favorite images. Clay was the oldest material which men ever used. These articles teach us to appreciate pottery and its beauty, which personifies the labor of the masters who created it. Many of the articles are heat-proof and water-resistant. These festive and attractive pieces are displayed at domestic and international exhibits in principal museums of Russia and around the world. Ornamental weaving was a handicraft of wide popularity in many villages of Russia since the old times. Production of a great variety of articles for interior decoration, door curtains and tablecloths, runners and table napkins, towels and furniture slipcovers still remains one of the traditional and popular crafts of Russia. The age-old folk traditions and professional secrets of carpet making are handed down from mother to daughter, from one generation to the next. These beautiful articles executed by skilled masters are able to add much charm and individuality to any interior, mostly due to their attractive ornamentation and vivid decorativeness. Metalwork includes the production of different articles: ladies' accessories such as bracelets, rings and earrings, tableware such as trays, milk jugs, teapots, unique goblets, vases and chests, souvenirs and decorative arms. These articles are usually decorated with national-style ornaments and executed in traditional techniques of engraving, golding and enamel work. Contemporary craftsmen also create marvelous unique pieces of small-size sculpture. These articles represent the production of metal trays decorated with handmade painting. Landscapes and still lifes are the most popular subjects of Zhostova painting. Fairy tale characters and Russian troika depictions are also often represented. But the main motif of Zhostova art is always a bouquet of flowers. Trays of various shapes, rectangular, winged, round and small-sized, as well as famous Russian samovars, which is a traditional Russian kettle, are also decorated with handmade painting. The great beauty of decoration painting on metal is highly appreciated by art lovers all over the world. Handmade painting on textiles is executed according to the unique drawings by experienced artists. Each drawing is modified in color and articles are produced as souvenirs in small series. Handmade painting on fabric decorates mainly costume accessories, scarves, kerchiefs, and neckties, but it is also applied in decorating window and door curtains and wall decorative pieces, which add charm and fascination to any interior. Ladies' dresses and sun frocks, blouses and flying skirts are painted with charming and wonderful birds, paradise gardens, and multicolored tropical fishes. Handmade textile production is noted for great variety of composition and refined colorism.
Today, you have seen many types of Russian folk arts and crafts. Many of these masterpieces are on exhibit in the best museums all over the world. The distinctive features of the creative work of folk arts and crafts are considered to be the successful combination of traditions and innovations, stylistic peculiarities and creative improvisation, common principles and the artist's viewpoints, handmade articles and their high quality. Every piece of folk art is unique. However, the most unique features are artistic nature, materials, technique, and poetic imagery, which reflect the life and the history of the people. I think you will agree now that Russian folk art and folk music reflect the soul of Russian people, the nature, the people, the events, the feelings. Everything is expressed through music, songs, dance, and art.
Здравствуйте! Доброе утро, добрый день! Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Это наш последний урок. This is our last lesson. Это наш последний урок. Поэтому давайте просто поговорим по-русски. Вы уже хорошо понимаете по-русски. Когда я говорю по-русски, вы прекрасно понимаете меня, да? Ну, давайте поговорим о том, что мы делали на уроке. На уроке мы много работали. На каждом уроке, during each class, на каждом уроке мы много говорили по-русски, много читали по-русски и много писали по-русски. Дома вы тоже работали. Вы читали, вы писали по-русски. И поэтому, поэтому я думаю, что сейчас вы уже неплохо говорите по-русски. О чем? About what? О чем мы говорили на уроке? Мы говорили о России. Мы говорили о том, какие города есть в России. И вы прекрасно знаете, что в России есть старинные и современные города. Мы говорили о том, как люди живут в России, что они делают каждый день. Мы говорили о том, где люди работают и где они учатся. Вы уже много знаете о том, как школьники учатся в школе, что они изучают в школе и что они делают в свободное время. Мы говорили о том, как люди живут в городе и как они живут в деревне. Мы говорили о том, что люди делают утром, что они делают днем и что они делают вечером. Мы говорили о том, как люди отдыхают, как они проводят свободное время. Мы с вами говорили о том, как люди покупают продукты в магазине, как они готовят обед. Мы говорили о том, что на обед, что на завтрак и что на ужин. Вы хорошо знаете времена года. Лето, осень, зима, весна. Вы хорошо знаете месяцы. Январь, февраль, март, апрель, май, июнь, июль, август, сентябрь, октябрь, ноябрь и декабрь. Вы знаете дни недели. Понедельник, вторник, среда, четверг, пятница, суббота, воскресенье. Вы знаете, как спросить, который час. И вы знаете, как сказать, который час. Сейчас час, сейчас 2 часа, 3 часа, 4 часа, 5 часов. И мы с вами много говорили о погоде. Вы знаете, как спросить, какая сегодня погода? Вы знаете, как ответить на этот вопрос? You know how to describe different types of weather. А скажите, пожалуйста, какая сегодня у вас погода? У вас тепло, холодно или жарко? Сегодня идет дождь или светит солнце? Какая сегодня у вас погода? Ну хорошо, а сейчас мы посмотрим маленький видеофильм. Пожалуйста, смотрите и слушайте очень внимательно. I want you to very closely follow the conversations in this video. Пожалуйста.
Алло?
Привет, Татьяна.
О, привет.
Как дела?
Хорошо, спасибо. А как у тебя?
Тоже хорошо. Какая сегодня погода?
Сегодня на улице холодно и идет дождь.
О, очень плохо.
Алло, Володя, привет.
Привет.
Как дела?
Хорошо, спасибо.
Какая сегодня погода в Москве?
У нас холодно, идет снег. А какая у вас погода в Техасе?
О, у нас тепло и светит солнце.
О, прекрасно. Хорошо.
Да.
Татьяна,
Да?
какая сегодня погода?
Я не знаю. Давай посмотрим, что пишут в газете. Сегодня тепло и облачно.
Неплохо. Спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
And I want you to very quickly answer these questions. Please answer in your classrooms. Well, let's begin with this. Как вас зовут? Хорошо. Где вы живете? Хорошо. Где вы учитесь? Хорошо. Скажите, пожалуйста, что вы изучаете в школе? Хорошо. Сколько вам лет? Сколько вам лет? Хорошо. А что вы делаете в свободное время? Что вы делаете в свободное время? Хорошо. Скажите, пожалуйста, у вас есть друзья в России? Хорошо. А скажите, пожалуйста, вы пишете им письма? Вы пишете им письма? Ну, хорошо. I hope that each of you was able to answer these questions and answer these questions in a very nice way, giving me your answers right away and not just the yes and no answers, but full, complete sentences. And this is what you should be able to do at this point in your study of the Russian language. We will now take a look at a video, and you will hear several teenagers speak about themselves. Please follow all these stories very closely, because again this video will show to you what you should be able to do in terms of making up a little speech about yourself and knowing how to present yourself in Russian. Итак, давайте посмотрим этот маленький видеофильм. Пожалуйста.
Как тебя зовут?
Меня зовут Станислав.
А сколько тебе лет?
Мне 16 лет.
Станислав, где ты учишься?
Я учусь в школе.
А что ты изучаешь?
Я изучаю математику, физику, русский и английский языки, химию и историю.
Что ты делаешь в свободное время?
В свободное время я смотрю телевизор, читаю книги и слушаю музыку.
Станислав, а какие передачи ты смотришь по телевизору?
Я смотрю спортивные передачи.
Ты любишь музыку?
Да, я люблю современную музыку.
А ты любишь спорт?
Да,
Спасибо.
пожалуйста.
Как тебя зовут?
Меня зовут Станислав.
А сколько тебе лет?
Мне 16 лет.
Станислав, где ты учишься?
Я учусь в школе.
А что ты изучаешь?
Я изучаю математику, физику, русский и английский языки, химию и историю.
Что ты делаешь в свободное время?
В свободное время я смотрю телевизор, читаю книги и слушаю музыку.
Станислав, а какие передачи ты смотришь по телевизору?
Я смотрю спортивные передачи.
Ты любишь музыку?
Да, я люблю современную музыку.
А ты любишь спорт?
Да,
Спасибо.
пожалуйста.
Ну, хорошо, хорошо. So during the very final conversation class for your Russian 2 class, you will be able to practice with all of these questions. And then you will be able to practice with presenting yourself in Russian to the entire conversation class group. And I hope that you will definitely enjoy this. Ну, хорошо, хорошо. Besides studying the Russian language and learning how to say this and this and that, you also studied a lot about the country of Russia, about its history, about its culture, its literature, its music, and other aspects of life in Russia. I hope that you really enjoyed the cultural part of this class. You know, really one of the most valuable byproducts of a study of a foreign language is developing an interest in that country, an interest towards its culture and its history and current events. So I hope that you have developed a strong interest in the study of the Russian language and culture, and I hope that you will be able to continue. You were able to hear some Russian music, and I hope that now you really have a strong appreciation for Russian music, for the unique sound of the Russian folk instruments, and for the flow of the music. So let's revisit some of the musical moments of the second phase of Russian world, and I want you to listen to this group playing traditional Russian music. Besides listening to Russian music, you also learned a lot about Russian art. Didn't you enjoy that cultural lesson that dealt with Russian paintings that were created in the 30s and in the 40s and the 50s and in the 60s of this century? During that time when the East and the West were separated from each other by the Iron Curtain. And isn't it wonderful that now you can take a look at what was behind that curtain, what was created during that time that we were separated from each other. And I hope that you enjoyed your discoveries. So now let us revisit the highlights of that excursion to a museum. That was very lovely. We also learned a lot about the kinds of food that the Russian people enjoy, and also we talked about how the Russian people celebrate their holidays. And you know that food is an essential part of Russian culture, and that the Russian people celebrate all kinds of events with good food and a lot of merrymaking. We talked about it in Russian 1 and we talked about it in Russian 2. And what I would like to do now is take you on a very short visit to a Russian restaurant, so again, you can relive the experience. So let's go there right now.
Очи страстные, очи жгучие и прекрасные, как люблю я вас, как боюсь я вас, знать увидел вас я в недобрый час, очи черные, жгучие.
No, хорошо. And also I would like to mention one more time this wonderful book, Land of the Firebird, written by Suzanne Massey, that describes the culture and history and art of Russia in the best possible way. I think this is the best book about Russian culture that has ever been written in the English language. So I do strongly recommend this book to you, and I hope that many of you have already started reading it. You don't have to read this entire book at one sitting. It's not that kind of book that you can swallow in a day or probably in a week. This is a book that you can read a chapter from and then put it away and come back again. It's a marvelous resource for you when it comes to the study of the Russian culture, history and art. Then another resource that I hope some of you have been using is the Russian Life magazine. In every issue you can find articles that describe different aspects of life in the modern day Russia, and they also have a lot of materials on arts and crafts and what's going on today. They cover different historical topics, so this is a great resource for you, and I hope that you will continue reading the Russian Life magazine. It is really a wonderful, wonderful magazine, and I have spent many an hour reading all the materials that they publish, and I've been enjoying it, and I hope that you will be using and enjoying it too. And then you can find a lot of materials about Russia and different topics connected with Russia on the internet. Just there's a wealth of information there, and I hope that you've been using that too, or if you haven't, that you will be using that resource available to us today. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So we have reached the end of the school year, and very soon it's gonna be summer. Лето. Лето. А что люди делают летом? Летом они едут отдыхать. А куда? Куда люди едут отдыхать летом? Они едут отдыхать на юг. На юг. Летом люди едут отдыхать на юг. На юге тепло. Там светит солнце. На юге море и пляж. Пляж. Let's take a look at this picture. Это пляж. Это море и пляж. Let's look at this new word for us. Пляж. А как по-английски пляж? You should have guessed that it means beach. Пляж. Пляж. На юге море и пляж. And what can be better than making a trip to the пляж? А что люди делают на пляже? Они загорают. На пляже люди загорают и плавают в море. Люди загорают. Загорать по-английски to sunbathe. Загорать. Загорать is a regular first conjugation verb. Загорать. To sunbathe. Загорать. And let's conjugate it together. Я загораю, ты загораешь, он загорает, мы загораем, вы загораете, они загорают. На пляже, at the beach, на пляже люди загорают. Тепло, светит солнце, на пляже люди загорают. И еще они плавают в море. Плавать. Плавать по-английски to swim. To swim. Плавать. Плавать. Плавать is also a first conjugation verb. Я плаваю. Ты плаваешь. Он плавает. Мы плаваем. Вы плаваете. Они плавают. На пляже люди загорают и плавают в море. Ну, хорошо. А сейчас давайте посмотрим на картинки. Итак, скажите, пожалуйста, что они делают? Они загорают. Они загорают на пляже. Скажите, пожалуйста, что они делают? Они плавают в море. Они плавают в море. Итак, летом люди отдыхают. Они едут на юг. На юге море и пляж. Там люди загорают и плавают в море. Я думаю, я надеюсь, I hope, что у вас есть планы на лето. У вас интересные планы на лето. Планы на лето. Plans for the summer. Я надеюсь, что у вас есть интересные планы на лето. And I hope that you will have a wonderful time. Ну, хорошо. Итак, учебный год кончается. The school year, the academic year is coming to an end. Учебный год кончается. And we can say все хорошо, что хорошо кончается. Все хорошо, all is well. Все хорошо, что хорошо кончается. All is well that ends well. Все хорошо, что хорошо кончается. Now say this out loud in your classrooms. Все хорошо, что хорошо кончается. And there's another proverb in the Russian language that kind of makes us feel good after we have accomplished something really big. And you know, Russian too was not an easy class to take, and if you have done well in this class, then yes, you have earned your summer vacation, you have earned a good rest. Сделал дело, гуляй смело. Work done, have your fun. Сделал дело, and notice how we are using a perfective verb here, because yes, this is an accomplishment. Сделал дело, гуляй смело. Гуляй смело. Have your fun. Enjoy yourself without restraint. Гуляй смело. And I would also say, or I would also like to say, я поздравляю вас с окончанием учебного года. I congratulate you on reaching the end of the school year. Поздравляю вас с окончанием учебного года. And this is how we write this. Поздравляю вас, I congratulate you, с окончанием, with the finish, the end, учебного года, of the school year. Поздравляю вас с окончанием учебного года. And I also wish you all the best. Желаю вам всего самого хорошего. Желаю вам, I wish you, всего, all, самого хорошего, the best. Желаю вам всего самого хорошего. And I hope that you will continue studying the Russian language. This is very rewarding, this is a lot of fun, and you are learning a lot of new stuff. And yes, it can be very, very useful. So I do hope that you will continue studying the Russian language. You will go on with your studies either at the secondary level, or if you are leaving school already, then continue studying the Russian language at the college level. Желаю вам всего самого хорошего. Большое спасибо и до свидания.